everybody. Welcome back. We are on another Scraplift Crafternoon, and this time we are scraplifting magical paper scraps. And she is part of a Disney scrapping community, and I really enjoy that. You guys know I'm a huge Disney fan and a scrapbooking fan. So, in addition to doing the Scraplift Crafternoon today, I'm also using papers from my 100 pattern piece paper challenge. So all three of these papers are from papers that I had put in my collection of I'm going to say the Island of Misfit Toys. It was a piece of paper from both my year-end collections and a piece of paper from one of the scrapbook collections. So I am mimicking her page by having a striped piece of paper there on the left. Now I know hers had a kind of an American flag look there on the right, on the left, but I'm just going to use the striped paper. And then I'm going to have three landscape photos that all go in kind of a stair-step fashion down the page. I am doing a look at the Easter photos that I had from this year's trip to Magic Kingdom. We saw the Easter Bunny, and it was on my bucket list for a long time. I'm trying to knock off all the interesting characters. So this last year I was able to get the Easter Bunny, and we were able to get some of the 4th of July patriotic characters. I'm finding that to be a fun kind of challenge for someone like me who goes to the parks a lot, is to find ways to see some of the interesting characters. Still, there's a lot that are still on my list. Mary Poppins and the penguins from Mary Poppins happen to be on my list, and those are now sometimes in the park, so I'm hoping to find those. So I'm going to mat with this pink paper and mat all these photos. These photos are actually, I believe, 3.5 by 5. So they're not quite 4 by 6, but when I mat them, I'm going to end up doing 4 by 5.5. And you're going to see part of the problem here is I put this really cool scallop border to mimic her scallop border with this ribbon all down the middle of the page. And when I start to lay these out, you're going to notice that I just cover that whole thing up, and I don't really want to. So I'm going to move the photos around and perhaps overlap them a little bit, just so you can see that there really is, because see, I lay them out now. What was the point of doing that ribbon? Now, this was a perfectly good layout, and in fact, I probably could have left it and been perfectly happy. But because I did go to all the effort to put that ribbon down, I did want to see it. So I'm going to move these around and overlap them until I get it where I want. Now, the other thing that has happened in me doing this is my original idea was to have the picture of John and I together with the Easter Bunny in the middle. And somehow that didn't happen either. So, things happen when you're laying it out and putting them down, and you just kind of have to go with it. This paper was one of the kind of noted or Hello Today, I don't remember which collection it was from, that they did for calendar pages, and I had never used it. So I'm going to use that instead. So I'm going to mimic her star block up there that was for the American flag with the Easter Bunny. And then I'm going to cut out the 4 squares in the middle to use as kind of embellishments around the page. So I've got one that says Happy Easter and then 2 eggs. And that is going to kind of mimic she has a journaling block on there with the how would you rate my what does it say? Fit or shirt? How would you rate my shirt? And I just wanted to kind of mimic that a little bit. And then I've got from Scrap and Inks, which is an Etsy store that has a lot of acrylic Disney pieces, and I will try to remember to put a link to that in my description. They had Easter specific Disney acrylic pieces, and so I got those, and I'm going to attach those as my main piece of embellishment. And after I was able to stick all of these down, kind of the last thing that I'm looking for is to attach a title. So her title is up in the upper right-hand corner. That's not going to work for my layout, but I do have all of that space there with the stripes on the left, and that's where I'm going to end up putting my title. So hopefully you can still see how her layout was the inspiration for mine, even if I did veer off a little bit in how it was laid out. So I'm going to go and find some letter stickers and come back and create a title. So here I am. I found some really cool kind of teal colors, and my title is going to be So Hoppin' Fun. One of the reasons my title is So Hoppin' Fun is because I had no E's and I couldn't do Easter. So I already had Easter on there, and that just worked. I had the right number of O's and P's. Sometimes you kind of make it work. I had a few from Shannon of these little hearts, acrylic pieces. I'm going to add those to this as well. This year, and I think I say it every layout now, it's all about me using my stash. And not so much because I'm trying to save money, although that does save money, but it's more about not being wasteful. I have bought all of these wonderful things throughout the years, and it's time for me to actually spend some time getting these on a page. I went through the leftover flowers I had from some flower die cuts, and I couldn't really find anything that fit. I had one floral that worked. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that floral. And here is my completed layout. You'll see a little bit of journaling there in the lower right. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week for another scrap lift.